Benkert signing now gives the Packers 4 QBs under contract, including Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. This came one day after head coach Matt LaFleur reiterated his desire for Rodgers to stay, saying, quote, "We want him back in the worst way. I know he knows that and will continue to work at it each and every day." Greg Jennings, former Packer, do you think Rodgers plays for Green Bay this season?
Yes, I do. Let's go down the list of their current quarterback roster, excluding Aaron Rodgers. You got Jordan Love, who didn't see any action last year, barely was even active. Then you signed Blake Bortles, who's been dismissed from almost every team that he's been on, has not been productive, and now you signed Benkert. So like a guy who just was off the street. So you look at that roster, and if you're Matt LaFleur, you're looking like, I can't run my offense. Devontae Adams can't be who we expect him to be with these guys under center. They have to make sure that they get Aaron Rodgers back into the building, period. If they have any chance on being any type of a contender, it's with Aaron Rodgers under center. Everyone knows that. The Green Bay Packers are smart. They're not foolish. Yes, they're trying to plan for the future, but they also want to win. And in order for them to win, they need the guy who wears number 12 under center, point blank. So however they need to sift whatever's going on and smooth it out, they need to do that and address it. When your head coach is saying, I want him back in the worst way, what is he truly saying? I can't provide who I am and what I do for this team offensively without that guy. At this point where we are with our current personnel and the guys we have under center or who's going to be in the building, I can't provide that. We will not be the same team. And everyone knows that, including Aaron Rodgers, which is why I believe he's making them sweat. I don't know what it's going to take to get him in the building, but the Green Bay Packers need to explore every single option.
Yeah, I agree. And LaFleur did make it very clear that he wants to have Aaron Rodgers back. And I'll say this. We still have yet to hear Aaron Rodgers say out of his mouth, and I quote, "I am demanding a trade. I am not going to play for the Green Bay Packers." In fact, he was on my homeboy show. You know, we're from Pittsburgh together. Pat McAfee, shouts out to him. He had 2 interesting quotes that were taken away from that interview, and I'll just read you a piece of both those quotes. One being, all I can do is play my best. And I feel like last year I did do that. And I may have thrown a wrench into some timelines that had been thought about or desired, meaning Jordan Love was drafted to replace me possibly after this season. But you know what? I won an MVP award and we were 1 game away again from being in the Super Bowl. Okay, the second one. Let's go to the second one. There were some people who made assumptions based on what I said. Nothing's really changed. I meant what I said last year, really being at peace with the whole thing, meaning drafting Jordan Love. I'm not bitter. I'm not disappointed or frustrated about things I realize I can't control. Me, and my future is being one of them. Listen, the bottom line with Aaron Rodgers is he has made it very clear he understands the circumstances that he's dealing with in Green Bay. He accepts them, and he obviously knows how to handle them by the way he showed his play this past season. There's no reason to think that he's going anywhere else based off of speculation, Chris Broussard, and I lean on that, and I say he'll be back and he'll play for Green Bay.
I do agree with you guys. Look, the one way that Aaron Rodgers could really blow this thing up is, like you said, LeVar, if he came out publicly and said, look, I want out. I do not want to play another down for the Green Bay Packers. If he did that, because right now the Packers are standing resolute that we're not trading you. So he would have to kind of go nuclear that way to really maybe get them off of their post, and he hasn't done it. And I don't think he will do it. I believe the Packers when they say they're not going to trade him. I think the only way they really even get close to trading him is if he just doesn't show up for training camp and beyond. And they're about to start the season. He's not there. There's no sign of him coming. But I don't see him doing that. I don't see him retiring. Number one, he obviously has tons of football left in him. Number two, he would have to give the Packers $30 million. Look, I know he's got tons of money, but to give somebody back $30 million, that cannot be easy. This reminds me of the Tom Brady situation in New England. We began hearing in 2018 that Tom Brady wanted out, that there was too much distrust between him and Belichick and the team for him to return. And they go on and they win one more Super Bowl and play one more season together. The only difference, I think, is that Rodgers plays just one more season in Green Bay, whereas Brady played two more in New England. So I think after this upcoming season, that's when the Packers will move on from Aaron Rodgers. It'll be much easier for them financially. Maybe if they win the Super Bowl, they keep him, but it'll be easier financially. Number two, Devontae Adams came out and went to bat for Aaron Rodgers. Said, look, if he's gone, I may be gone. I'm guessing that those two have even talked. So I don't see Aaron, after Devontae went out there and put his neck on the line for Aaron Rodgers, I don't see Aaron walking away and retiring after Devontae did that. I think they come back. They got one more season together. See how it goes. They're too close. They've been 13-3 the last 2 years. They've got to be thinking, look, we can't leave this. We got to maximize this opportunity and try to get another Super Bowl. And then the other thing, guys, is this. After next season, what is the Deshaun Watson situation like in Houston? Maybe it's worse. Maybe they need to get rid of him. What is the Russell Wilson situation like in Seattle if they don't win the Super Bowl next year? Maybe that situation is just too messed up and he has to go. Could they offer one of those guys for an Aaron Rodgers? So I just think that Rodgers will play for the Packers next year. He'll play well. And then it'll probably be his last year in Green Bay.
So, Chris, the only thing I want to point out that you said, very interesting, you're like, is he going to have to give money back? Remember, Andrew Luck up and retired from the Colts. People thought, oh, he's got to give back $24 million-ish. Jim Irsay, the owner, said, hey, Andrew, thank you for your service. You were great to our organization. We went to the playoffs a bunch. You don't have to pay us back. Would the Packers do something similar to Aaron Rodgers? I know it's not apples to apples, but it is.
No.
We don't know. We don't know how the Packers are going to treat Aaron Rodgers.
You're demanding a trade. Why would I help you out?
Of course he's going to demand a trade, Chris. They disrespected him by drafting this kid, Jordan Love, after they just went to the NFC Championship. Aaron Rodgers is well within his right to say, hey, man, I'm going to operate out of the Tom Brady playbook. Tom Brady was not happy they drafted Jimmy Garoppolo. He said, I'll show you. I'm going to deliver. They trade Garoppolo.
And
Aaron
again,
Rodgers delivers.
Brady
it's
stayed
time
2
to
more
trade
years.
Jordan Love. You've got to give Aaron Rodgers what he wants. Chris, Aaron Rodgers has been tremendous for this franchise the last decade, okay? He's been outstanding. And you go and the GM drafts Jordan Love, trades up to draft Jordan Love. When the coach had no clue what was happening, this was a horrendous move. They need to fix their mistake or give Aaron Rodgers what he wants. And one final note, Greg Jennings, you said the Packers are smart, not foolish. So tell me what on earth the GM was doing drafting Jordan Love, who led college football in interceptions right after you go to the NFC Championship game. That is the definition of foolish.
Oh, well, you make a great point there. When I talk about the Packers being smart, I'm talking about they understand they do want to win. So if they are smart, as I do believe they are, and they have shown us the last however many years, they will find a way to come to a resolution with Aaron Rodgers.
And they are smart, Greg. Look, you made some good points, J-Mac. They shouldn't have drafted Jordan Love. But why in the world would they give Rodgers back $30 million? There's acrimony between these two groups right now. So he's demanding his way out. They don't want to trade him. If he moves, it's because he forced their hand. So why would they do him a favor and give him $30 million? Because he won a Super Bowl 10 years ago? No, I don't think so.
Because he's got them in position to go to the Super Bowl every year. LeVar, you know this. If you get in an argument with your wife,
that's not the goal.
And you screw up,
the goal is
you got to
win
give her flowers. You got to come with a ring, a necklace. You got to do something. You got to man up and deliver because you screwed up. The Packers screwed up here, LeVar. Did they not? They've got to make amends.
They did mess up the relationship, but I will say this to both of your points, because I think there's a truth in between both of what you guys